Tonight, I'm doing something most astrophotographers try to avoid. The moon is out and it's bright, about 50% illuminated, enough to wash out the sky and make you question why you even set up the camera in the first place. We hear it all the time: don't shoot during a bright moon, wait for a new moon, it's not worth it. So instead of waiting for perfect conditions, I wanted to find out for myself. Can you actually do astrophotography during a 50% moon phase? And more importantly, is it worth the effort? Well, tonight, I may just be able to answer those questions, so stay tuned and watch the rest of the video to find out.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another YouTube video. Today we are here in Pacific Grove, California. I'm here visiting some family and I figured I'd come out here, try to scout some locations where I can do some astrophotography for tonight. So as you guys can see, there is a rainbow behind me. It was just raining a second ago and now the clouds have cleared, the sun is out and it's beautiful conditions. So my first thought was actually doing some astrophotography at this location because over to the right hand side, Orion's going to be rising above the sea and the rock structures over here. So I thought it would be a pretty cool composition. It may be a bit challenging because we are right next to a city, so there's going to be a decent amount of light pollution. But since we are facing out towards the ocean in the bay, I think we still will be able to get some detail out of the Orion Nebula. But this is the first location that I scouted this afternoon, and I'm gonna do some more scouting, so I'll keep you guys updated and see if I can find any more cool compositions. But it's looking like pretty promising so far. The only thing is, it is projected to rain tonight, and I'm only here for 2 more nights, so I'm probably gonna have to come back tomorrow and see if I can get some better conditions. But fingers crossed that it'll clear up and we can get some astrophotography here. All right, so I want to show you guys what the composition I'm thinking of for tonight or tomorrow is going to look like. This location looks pretty promising. The Orion is going to be setting or rising like right over here. I have no idea how bad the light pollution is going to be because as you guys can see, there are some houses here, and over into the distance, there's going to be some pretty good light pollution from the houses over there as well. So I think we're just gonna have to see if this is gonna work. Like I said, this is just the first spot that I'm scouting, and I'm gonna go along the coast and see if I can find some better spots, maybe without as much potential light pollution from the nearby houses. But I really do like how this composition is looking, and I think it would be cool as well because Lover's Point, which you can see over there with those trees in the distance, it's a really iconic area for this location. So I think it would be cool to feature that location with some astrophotography because, as I said, I've never seen that before, so I think it would be pretty cool. But with that being said, I do have a time lapse right now going on my other camera, just capturing the rainbow. I'll probably have that go for a bit longer, and then I'm just gonna drive along the coastline and see if I can find some other compositions for tonight. All right, guys, so actually having a hard time finding a good composition where Orion will be rising because I need to face east, and unfortunately when you face east it's harder to get the ocean and the coast in the actual picture in the frame because most of the direction that you need to get the ocean and the coastline is actually going to be west. So at the moment, the only spot I was able to find was that one I showed you guys earlier, that first spot that I found that's facing east, where I was still able to get the coastline and the sea and the ocean in that actual frame, the composition. So it's about an hour till it starts, till sunset. So I think I'm actually gonna come tomorrow and try to find some more spots, as the weather tonight is supposed to rain and be cloudy anyway, so I don't think I'll be able to shoot tonight. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get some better conditions, but I think I will hang out here and wait for the next hour until the sun starts to set. And I know this is an astrophotography channel for the most part, but I will be trying to shoot the sunset, and maybe I'll include some of those pictures in here as well. Maybe I'll shoot a time lapse. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know if the sunset is actually going to pop off because there is a really thick gray cloud that's rolling through, so it might be a pretty boring sunset, but you never know when it comes to coastline views and coast sunsets. So we'll see what happens. Wish me luck, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Alright, so I think I want to head home because the storm cloud's rolling through and I'm starting to get rained on. So yeah, I don't know about this sunset, but I'm definitely going to try and come back tomorrow and see what we can find.
All right, what's up everyone? So it's currently the next day and I'm here at Kissing Rock, another iconic location here at Pacific Grove, to see if I can find some more potential compositions tonight where I can shoot the Milky Way and the Orion Nebula. This is a potential location as the Orion is going to be rising right over to the right-hand side behind this rock structure. So I think it would be pretty cool. And since it is facing more out towards the ocean, I think it'll be better in terms of light pollution, because that first spot that I showed you guys yesterday, I was doing some thinking, and I do think it's going to be an issue with all the nearby streetlights and everything. So I'm going to continue to search today, see if I can find a better spot that I can shoot tonight, but the conditions are looking much better. It's a lot more clear outside today, and it's projected to be clear skies. So hopefully I got my fingers crossed that the fog doesn't roll through and ruin the visibility. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna keep scouting locations and then keep you guys updated. All right, so I think this will be another potentially really good location to shoot as well. The Orion's gonna be perfectly rising kind of in the middle of the frame that you're seeing right now, like above these rocks, and you're gonna get the rushing waves into the coast here. So I think this would be a really good potential composition. So we'll see if I end up coming here tonight. But I'm gonna go further down. As you guys can see, there is a rock, like a nice flat rock surface over there, and I think that would be cool to see if I can get some like silhouette style images of me standing up on top of there. But I think so far this is probably the most promising location that I've scouted for getting the Orion rising above this landscape tonight. And it's absolutely beautiful with these rock structures and then the waves rushing into that coastline. So I think I might come here tonight, but I'm also gonna go down there as well and see if I can find another cool composition. In terms of setup for tonight, I think I'm gonna use the Nikon Z7 here. And I'm using the Sigma 35mm f1.4 lens. I think I'm gonna use this setup, and then for tripod I have the FLM Travel 2 and the Oben ball head. Obviously I will probably stick on my star tracker as well, so I'll show you guys the star tracker that I'm using later tonight once I have that set up. But this is going to be the main setup for tonight. I will probably set up my other camera here and shoot some time lapses as well, but in terms of the track long exposures, I think this is going to be what I'm going to be using for tonight. All right, so I also wanted to show you guys what the frame of the field of view is looking like with 35mm. So as you guys can see, I'm getting a decent amount of foreground in there with this focal length, and I'm able to get some of those rushing waves in, and just enough sky, I think, to get a good portion of the Orion Nebula. So I think this is going to be a fantastic focal length for this composition. So I just wanted to show you guys like my thought process for why I'm choosing this focal length. I may go a bit wider if I want to capture more of that foreground, but that's going to have a bit of compromise because I'm going to get less of the detail out of the sky and the Orion Nebula. So I think this is going to be the focal length that I'm going to use for tonight. And right now, what you guys are seeing, I'm filming with the 20mm, so that's kind of gives you an idea of like how this landscape looks with a wider field of view. But these are the two focal lengths that I'm probably going to be using for tonight. So we'll see what happens. One thing that I did want to mention that's going to be quite challenging is that there actually is a 50% moon out tonight. So that's going to be drowning out a lot of the detail in the Orion Nebula and also the stars. But I think it will be kind of cool because it should provide a decent amount of light on that foreground. So I'll be able to pull a lot more detail out of the rock structures here. So we'll see if I'm even able to get any detail out of the sky with such a large moon phase. And then additionally, we are pretty close to the street, so there's going to be the challenge of cars driving by and also potentially street lights as well. So it's going to be a bit of a gamble, but we'll see what happens. I'm only here for this weekend, so I'm hoping that the conditions are going to be good tonight and the fog doesn't roll through. I've tried shooting here so many times and I've never been able to come here with clear skies. So fingers crossed. I'll keep you guys updated, and we'll see if I can find any other good compositions for tonight. All right, so I'm just checking Stellarium right now to see where Orion Nebula is going to be in terms of this composition here. And I'm actually really liking the position of where Orion's going to be tonight with this composition. And there's a really nice leading line of this rock structure here into where Orion's going to be. So actually, this is also another really cool potential composition for tonight. I will probably do like a 35 millimeters here as well. I'll show you guys what that looks like with this composition. This is what it's looking like at 35 millimeters. And as you guys can see, there's a really nice leading line of this rock structure right here, kind of going all the way into the sky. And I'm thinking I can get some cool silhouette images as well, kind of where those people are standing over there and with me in the picture. So this is actually a really cool composition as well that I may be coming to tonight. So maybe I will try and do both if I have the time, or just commit to one. So we'll see what happens, but I think this is going to be a potentially really good composition as well. All right, guys, so I want to show you what the gear I'm using for tonight is. Now, I'm using the FLM Travel 2 carbon fiber tripod, super lightweight, can hold very heavy loads. On top of that, I'm using the iOptron Skyguider Pro Star Tracker and the Move Shoot Move Alan Wallace Z mount, which provides a level surface for the camera. And on top of that Z mount, I have the Open BE108 ball head, which I am attaching my mirrorless Nikon Z7 camera to. Now, as I said earlier, I'm planning on using the Sigma Art 35mm f1.4 lens, as I think 35mm is going to be the best focal length for this composition. And so this is like my ultimate setup for star tracking, and I pretty much have everything set up now. I'm just waiting for it to get dark so I can use the laser to align it towards Polaris. And then we can start taking some test shots. We do have about like an hour before it gets fully dark, but I always like to get out to the spot and set things up early so that I'm not rushing if possible, and so that I can set things up before it gets pitch dark. So with that being said, just want to give you guys a quick gear rundown. I'm going to start taking some test shots to see what kind of compositions I can get here. And let's hope that these conditions last. It's super clear outside. There's a bit of haze on the low level sky, but this is the best conditions I've ever had in this area. So I think we're gonna get some pretty awesome shots. Unfortunately, the moon is in the same direction that we're shooting tonight, so I do think that's gonna drown out a lot of the detail in Orion and some of those stars, but we'll see what we can get, and I'll keep you guys updated. hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. I think it came out absolutely fantastic. I shot that on my Nikon Z6 II with the 20mm f1.8 lens. Wanted to capture kind of a wider focal length for this location to give you guys kind of a better perspective of it as well. But with that being said, I have been shooting on my Nikon Z7 with a 35mm lens, and I've been shooting for the past hour and a half. So I have a decent amount of integration time that I'll be able to use to stack together all these photos for the sky and do a nice composite where I can blend it into the foreground. So that is the goal for this shot. One thing I did want to mention is I actually did do a lot shorter exposures than I thought. I ended up going with 15-second exposures, f4, ISO 400. And I did that because of the significant brightness of the moon tonight. So I didn't want to overexpose any of the highlights of the sky. So I did have to do a bit shorter of exposures than I would have liked, but hopefully this final image will come out good. I haven't done any stacking before with such bright moonlight, so I don't really know how that's gonna go. But I have some good hopes for these images. Thanks for sticking with this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you don't mind giving me a like, a subscribe, a comment, all that stuff really helps grow my channel. And I have a lot more videos planning to come soon. So thanks for sticking with me, and I hope everyone had a fantastic holiday, spending time with some family. I'm here this weekend visiting my parents in Pacific Grove. It's been a fantastic, relaxing time, and I'm just happy I was even able to get out and shoot. I really wasn't planning to do that, but sometimes when the conditions are good, you have to take advantage of it. So that being said, appreciate you guys sticking with this video, and let me know what you guys think of the images, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
So, is astrophotography during a 50% moon phase worth it? Well, if your goal is high quality, detailed pictures of nebulas, probably not. However, astrophotography isn't always about capturing the faintest details. It's about working with what the sky gives you, and of course, having fun with it all. So by those terms, I think it was a pretty successful night. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and again, thank you all for watching, and until next time.